Hello guys and welcome back to Blinkfeed. Through this video, I wish to introduce you with the Vedas, the oldest sacred text of Hinduism. Who wrote it? What's in it? And what does it teach? Let's find out. The Vedas are considered the earliest literary record of Indo-Aryan civilization and the most sacred books of India. They are the original scriptures of Hindu teachings, containing spiritual knowledge encompassing all aspects of life. The word Veda means wisdom, knowledge or vision, and it serves to manifest the language of the gods in human speech. The laws of the Vedas have regulated the social, legal, domestic and religious customs of Hindus up to the present day. All the obligatory duties of Hindus at birth, marriage, death, etc. are guided by the Vedic rituals, the Vedas. It is difficult to say when the earliest portions of the Vedas came into existence, but it seems clear that they are among the very earliest written wisdom documents produced by humans. As the ancient Hindus seldom kept any historical record of their religious, literary and political realization, it is difficult to determine the period of the Vedas with precision. Historians provide us many guesses, but none are guaranteed to be precise. It is thought, though, that the earliest Vedas may date back to roughly 1700 BC, the late Bronze Age. The Aryan invasion theory. This Aryan invasion theory was proposed by the British archaeologist Wheeler around the early part of 20th century. According to this theory, all the Vedas were not composed in India. They were composed by the members of tribes, the so-called Aryans, who invaded India from the northwest, destroyed the old civilization in the Indus Valley, supposedly Dravidians, and drove out these original inhabitants to the south of India and other parts. The ruins of this early Indus Valley civilization dated 3000 BC to 7000 BC or earlier. By this theory, the date of Rig Veda is before 3000 BC. All the modern archaeologists like Shafir declare that there is no archaeological evidence for such an invasion. The invasion is a myth propagated by the historians. Who wrote the Vedas? Tradition has it that humans did not compose the revered compositions of the Vedas, but that God taught the Vedic hymns to the sages, who then handed them down through generations by word of mouth. The four Vedas, Rig, Sam, Yajur and Atharv, are not the work of any single author. In ancient India, there were many rishis living simple contemplative life in the hermitages high in the Himalayas and along the banks of sacred rivers. The rishis had names like Angiras, Bhrigu, Yajnavalkya and Gargi. They sought to understand the fundamental truths of life, like why are we born? How did the world come into existence? How can we live a good life? Because of their intense inquiry and deep meditation, they received God's blessings and were able to discover the answers of their profound questions. The classification of the Vedas. The Vedas are classified into four volumes: the Rig Veda, the Sam Veda, the Yajur Veda and the Atharvaveda, with the Rig Veda serving as the principal text. The four Vedas are collectively known as Chaturveda, of which the first three Vedas, the Rig Veda, Sam Veda and Yajur Veda, agree with one another in form, language and context. The mother of all scriptures. Although the Vedas are seldom read or understood today, even by the devout, they no doubt form the bedrock of universal religion or Sanatan Dharma that all Hindus follow. The Upanishads, however, are read by some serious students of the religious tradition and spirituality in all cultures, and are regarded as principal texts within the body of mankind's wisdom traditions. The Vedas have guided our religious directions for ages and will continue to do so for generations to come, and they will forever remain the most comprehensive and universal of all ancient Hindu scriptures. Now let's look at the four Vedas individually. The Rig Veda, the book of mantras. The Rig Veda is a collection of inspired songs and is a main source of information on the Rig Vedic civilization. It is the oldest book in any Indo-European language and contains the earliest form of all Sanskrit mantras, dating back to 1500 BC to 1000 BC. Some scholars date the Rig Veda early as 12,000 BC. The Rig Vedic collection of mantras consists of 1017, covering about 10,600 stanzas divided into 8 astakas, each having 8 adhyayas or chapters, which are subdivided into various groups. The hymns are the work of many authors or seers called rishis. There are 7 primary rishis identified: Atri, Kanva, Vashisht, Vishwamitra, Jamadagni, Gautam and Bhardwaj. The Rig Veda accounts in detail the social, religious, political and economical background of the Rig Vedic civilization. The Sam Veda, Yajur Veda and Atharvaveda were compiled after the age of Rig Veda and are ascribed in the Vedic period. The Sam Veda, the book of song. The Samved is purely a liturgical collection of melodies. The hymns in the Samved used as musical notes were almost completely drawn from the Rig Veda and have no distinctive lessons of their own. Hence, its text is a reduced version of the Rig Veda. As Vedic scholar David Frawley puts it, if the Rig Veda is a word, Samved is the song or the meaning. If Rig Veda is a knowledge, Samved is its realization. If Rig Veda is the wife, the Samved is her husband. The Yajurveda, the book of ritual. The Yajurveda is also a liturgical collection and was made to meet the demands of a ceremonial religion. The Yajurveda served as a practical guidebook for the priests who execute sacrificial acts while muttering simultaneously those pause prayers and the sacrificial formulae. It is similar to the ancient Egypt's Book of the Dead. There are no less than 6 complete recessions of Yajurveda: Madhyandina, Kanva, Taittiriya, Kathak, Maitrayani and Kapisthala. The Atharvaveda, the book of spell, the last of all the Vedas. This is completely different from all the other 3 Vedas and is next to importance to the Rig Veda with regard to history and sociology. A different spirit pervades this Veda. Its hymns are of a more diverse character than that of the Rig Veda and are also simpler in language. In fact, many scholars do not consider it part of the Vedas at all. The Atharvaveda consists of spells and charms prevalent at its time and portrays a very clearer picture of the Vedic society. Now, some of the teachings of the Vedas. Vedas teach us many things including sciences like healing, astrology, mathematics, etc. as well. The impact of Vedas on common man's life would be tremendous if one lives a life according to the dharma prescribed by them, because it has almost everything in it right now, from how a king should conduct himself, from how a householder must conduct himself, etc. Everything is already thought out and laid down in Vedas so that it becomes easier for the common man to adhere to what it says so as to live a happy life. Thank you guys for watching. My next video in the series will be of amazing facts regarding the 4 Vedas and its mantras. So don't forget to subscribe for the updates.